right, family, thank you for tuning into another episode. It's your guy, Boro, the Lucky Libra, and Leo. This is your reading for the solar eclipse, the new moon solar eclipse in Gemini. So let's get right into it. All right, Leo, fixed fire ruled by none other than the sun. Okay, and this Gemini season, a lot of these energies have been sextiling you. All right, Gemini is a sextile to you. So when we look at this harmonious relationship you guys have, you're dealing with the insight, the awareness, being on the stage. All right, being center staged. Gemini is the most flexible and adaptable when it comes to forms of communication. So this season you had access to utilizing new different outlets, reigniting certain relationships, friendships of substance, may also have been for business purposes. So you may have been hitting people up to either be the vessel of information to build something, or you was the receiver in some type of shape or form, Leo. But you definitely may have played out the messenger role this season as well, you and Aries. So when we look at this type of energy, you may have also been able to pick up on who you go out your way for, who you drain, being the one giving this message off, giving this new business advice off, giving this relationship advice off. Your awareness you have to make sure your awareness is being utilized for your own personal issues, for what is it you trying to build, because this season was helping you realize how these things play a part, with your relationships and yourself, things that you already see. Because since it's played out in a sextile this season, there was a lot of things, a lot of details, the things you was able to pick up on that you was kind of seeing ahead of time. All right. So, let's say you guys are in a relationship. There's certain things you guys was picking up on about the details of your relationship. And you knew if you didn't initiate or bring something into the light to your partner, you knew letting these things wait too long could end up backfiring way worse later on. So you guys took the initiative of making sure certain things was expressed, okay? But definitely was a huge vessel of information for others, and you was able to receive a lot. So you got to make sure, moving on to this new moon, all these things that you've been receiving during this season, Leo, is applied, especially because a lot of it, you was open to receiving a bunch of constructive criticism this season. Okay, I had said earlier that this season was going to show you guys who is it that's friends that you can build with, friends that's just more so just cool friends to chill with, hang with. All right, nothing wrong with that. But sometimes we have to be able to see where that blurred line is met with people that we know we can't rely on, depend on, because their ways of thinking is only expand so much. And that's where you was probably overexerting yourself this season, Leo, because you had that access to give that awareness, connect that message. All right, you had access to utilizing different forms of communication. All right, so you may have really been, once again, you may really have been the glue to help certain things stick this season, and you've been trying to see what situations you would like to continue to be the glue for, aka what relationships you're going to continue to put effort in, what business projects you're into, you're going to continue to work and have some more faith and belief in. All right, what creative projects you into regardless. All right, so that's very important. Understanding who can match your energy, business and intimately. All right, so you may have also felt unfulfilled. Let's say if you felt unfulfilled in your intimate relationship, this may have been a situation that with all these retrograde energies playing out, Leo, that you guys really started sizing up as realistic as possible. Do you think you can deal with this energy that doesn't match you as much, match your intensity, doesn't light you up as much, doesn't inspire you as much? And these are the things you started feeling like you had to revise, because maybe early stages of the relationship was exciting, was explosive, was passionate. All right. And you guys, you want some passion in your relationship. Is fire by default. Fire want to see some form of expression, some light, some action in his relationship. So it's important that you don't overthink too much in understanding that, you're dealing with somebody's different love language, instead of, because we was all under We was all overthinking a lot of things right now, okay? So any decisions that's made with your relationships, even though a lot of people's relationships is unstable at the moment and people are seeing the true reality and foundation of their relationship, is just important to understand, are you unstimulated because the relationship is not on a super honeymoon phase? Or is you overthinking things, adding on to things right now, Leo? Now, the things that, once again, the things that's been a heavy on you, a heavy burden, heavy on the feelings and emotions over the season, that's the emphasis of things that you had to take care of moving into this new moon. But for the most part, accepting the constructive criticism, learning how to decipher real help from real critique, positive critique from hate, from taking things personal and being able to build on that. But once I said, you just use a huge vessel to receive a lot of information on things that you're working on and things that you, let's say you certain personal endeavors that was business related, that you felt like you ain't know what direction you was going to take, even though we dealing with all these retrograde energies, just based off how these energies are hitting you, some direction was stimulated this season, all right, Leo? So we want to make sure you're being wise about how you do things and who you do things with, Leo, because with these energies, you've grown in awareness of these things. You've understood where your wisdom is going to be applied at. You may have even been in some situations where you prevented some things this season just because you understood you was around the wrong energies and whatnot, and you had to take more of a leader decision. And the leader decision was being more independent, dashing a situation, detaching from a situation. So a lot of y'all may have had to deal with that, especially with all this sextile energy and y'all having to be more critical of your relationships and the people you're around. And I think I mentioned earlier this season, I was saying people just like to be around Leo sometimes because they like to be around that light, trying to see if they can get some of that light themselves, some of that spotlight themselves. So Leos is real critical for y'all to know who y'all surrounded by. Go post new moon, moving on into Cancer season. All right, guys. Okay, and then self-critique can't hold you back. Continue to make things happen. Out of thin air. I like to say Leos can make things happen out of thin air. It's the sun. It gives light, gives life, give creation. So a lot of Leos could do their best work when they're back against the wall. A lot of Leos when they're pressured. All right. So continue to utilize the ability to max out on all the resources and talents that you already have, Leo. Okay. And don't let your overthinking right now or any form of all this heavy Mercury and air energy push you to thinking you have to be over strategic with what is it you creatively into. You already have the awareness. You just got to make sure you're staying intentional, and you got to make sure that you're seeing the details to what you're working on, but you're allowing yourself to trust your gut instinct, and you're being patient with revising things that need to be revisited. All right, Leos, you guys keep that in mind going into Cancer season. We're going to be A-okay. All right, Leos? All right.